Welcome to Conversations with Dr. Skip Mason,
pastor, preacher, historian, author,
teacher, librarian, archivist, world traveler,
collector, family historian, avid reader, and creator of the popular Vanishing Black Atlanta Facebook page.
With a lot of folks who love history.
Most importantly,
he's our
dad who loves his family and who taught us the importance of our history and having important conversations.
Join him now for this episode of Conversations with Dr. Skip.
Dear old Morris Brown, dear old Morris Brown, to thy precepts praise we shall ever be. Da 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 da. We shall da 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 da. Rah rah for Morris Brown. And so the reason I don't know all the words is that I was in the band. I played an instrument. So we didn't have to learn the words. We had to learn the music. But there are some folks who are coming on today that know the words. Happy homecoming, or as we say in Morris Brown land, homecoming. Hey, I'm a 58-year-old grown man, and Morris Brown brings that out. Isn't that right, Crystal? I'm so happy today to greet you. It is Morris Brown's homecoming day, virtually, homecoming at home. But I got some wonderful friends that are going to be popping in to share their Morris Brown experience, and what Morris Brown and homecoming means to them. And I'm so excited. So here's what I need you to do. First of all, we are also raising funds for Morris Brown. All right. So I need all of my Vanishing Black Atlanta family, my Morris Brown family. I need you today to give your best gift, Morris Brown. All right. You can do Cash App. You can do PayPal. Members of the dynamic, magnificent class of 84. There will be no more like the class of 84. You already know what to do. Make sure you put class of 84 by it. If you're giving from Vanishing Black Atlanta, make sure you put SM. That's just so they'll know that it came from people from my page. We need to give $5, $10, $15, $20, $18.81 for this great school that is still standing. I need for you to stop now and take your cell phone, and I need you to do two things. I need you to share this program. I'm going to be on for 2 hours or more. We got a 12 o'clock alumni meeting. So we got folks coming in. We're going to watch some clips, some videos. We can't be on the campus today, but I'm going to bring campus to you. And coming up in just a few minutes, I got one of my beloved classmates, Crystal Jackson, outstanding Morris Brown graduate and cheerleader. She's coming in a moment to tell us about her Morris Brown experience. But I need you to share, host a watch party. I want hundreds and hundreds of folks to watch. You're not doing anything else this morning. What are you doing this morning? You're sitting up in bed watching TV. Come on. I need you to take out your phone, and I need you to give. But dear old Morris Brown. Who is Morris Brown, you ask? You know, Morris Brown was the second consecrated bishop of the African Methodist Episcopal Church. Okay, let's watch this quick video, share, host a watch party. And then when we come back, I'm going to bring Crystal Jackson up, one of our wonderful graduates, class 84, and one of the great cheerleaders from Morris Brown. Crystal will be with you.
Morris Brown was born in Charleston, South Carolina in 1770. Brown was a prosperous shoemaker by trade and charismatic religious leader. Brown traveled to Philadelphia to collaborate with the Reverend Richard Allen in the founding of the country's first African Methodist Episcopal Church in 1816. Brown worked tirelessly to forge an independent African Methodist church in Charleston. In 1818, Brown left a predominantly white but racially segregated Methodist church in Charleston in protest against discrimination. More than 4,000 African American members of the white churches in the city followed Brown to his new church, the African Methodist Episcopal Church of Charleston, later named Emmanuel AME Church. In 1822, Brown and Emmanuel AME came under investigation during the Denmark-Vesey controversy. The previous year, Vesey, a freed slave, organized a slave uprising in the city. Informed of the plot, white authorities arrested hundreds of alleged participants, and a white mob burned the church building to the ground. Reverend Brown was implicated in the plot, but was never convicted. Shortly after the Vesey incident, Reverend Brown, his wife Bella, and their two sons, Morris Jr. and Malcolm, left the South and settled in Philadelphia. Upon the death of Bishop Richard Allen in 1831, Brown took over the pastorate at AME Bethel Church, becoming the second bishop of the AME Church. Meanwhile, the congregation in Charleston rebuilt Emmanuel AME Church and worshiped there until 1834, when the city banned all African American churches. Bishop Morris Brown died in Philadelphia on May 9, 1849. Morris Brown College in Atlanta, Georgia, established in 1885, is named after him.
And so there you have it. You know, I got to give you a brief history lesson on the man, Bishop Morris Brown, strong revolutionary warrior. Morris Brown College is the only school in the state of Georgia that was founded by African Americans and named for an African American. Can I say that again? Because I want the folks sitting in the back of the church to hear me. It is the only school founded by African Americans and named for an African American. And so we have always known struggle. The original FUBU, for us, by us. But we are not closed. We are still open, still educating. Yes, the college lost its accreditation some years ago, and we'll discuss that. But Morris Brown is still standing and still resilient. And today, as we celebrate Morris Brown's homecoming at home, you are going to hear from some of my classmates and friends on just sharing their experience, you know, their love for Morris Brown and their passion. It is something about that little school on the hill, on the corner of MLK and Tatnall Street. And so now I want to bring up my first guest, Jackson, one of our beloved graduates and cheerleaders. Crystal is driving somewhere. I don't know where you're going. You're not going to Morris Brown this morning.
Hey, doing a drive-by.
Doing a drive-by. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I'm so glad to see you. Your face has frozen on the screen, but we can still hear you right now. That's the thing of technology. You just don't ever know how it is going to work. But Krista, tell us about, just briefly, your time at Morris Brown. You were a cheerleader, and what does homecoming mean to you, Crystal?
Homecoming means everything to me. It's the reconnection with friends and family, and you meet new friends, and it's an awesome experience. And the best experience was going to a HBCU. There's none like it.
Nothing like it. And where are you from, Crystal? Where's home for you?
My home is Decatur, Georgia.
So you from Decatur. Now, how did you end up at Morris Brown?
Well, I applied for Clark, and I didn't get into Clark. Then I applied for Morris Brown because I was going to the school I came from was Gordon High.
Okay.
And trying to connect to my school colors. Our school colors were red and black, and I said, well, okay, this in the city. Can't afford to go anywhere else, so why not
Right.
Clark? I didn't get into Clark. Then I said, well, let me try the school next door. And I got into Morris Brown.
Crystal, I'm putting up a picture of you as a cheerleader. You can't see it. You keep your eyes on the road, but this is a picture of you as a cheerleader next to Eric Purdue and somebody else. What was it like being a cheerleader at Morris Brown?
It was one of the best experiences in life. I enjoyed myself cheering for Morris Brown, cheering for the football team, cheering for the basketball team. And one of the best experiences I had as a cheerleader was we were able to go to the dome and cheer in the MEX SWAC tournament.
Right.
Championship game.
Yeah.
So that was an experience too. So Morris Brown cheerleaders were able to go there to represent.
Wow, Krista, I tell you. Well, encourage people to give today to Morris Brown, what it means to give and to help educate the next generation of students. Would you give a little word of encouragement?
Morris Brown is an awesome school. There's none other, and to continue the growth of that school, I got the best education. I think I could have gotten ever from Morris Brown. And the institution needs, your support.
Yes.
To continue to keep people in line or keep people going like me. But we need you and we need your help. I'm going to give 1881. Is that 01?
1881, yes.
Yeah. That's
1881, the year of our founding. We're not asking you to give $1 million unless you have it.
Yeah, but
and if you have it, but if everybody gave $18.81 a month, just a month, that would help. I need all of my friends. I need my family. I need my Vanishing Black Atlanta to take out your phone and to do Cash App, $restore Morris Brown, or go to the Facebook website and give as we celebrate Morris Brown. Krista, I am so glad that you stopped by to say hello. And you get to your destination, wherever you are, and then you get home. Say, we got a full day of activities. I'm going to be on until it's time for the alumni meeting. And then we have the alumni meeting. Then we have all of the Morris Brown virtual activities as well. So we will look forward to connecting. God bless you, my sister. And you take good care of yourself, okay?
All right. Thank you. You have a blessed one, too.
Thank you, Crystal. All right. So glad to have my sister Crystal on. I got another sister, Crystal, too. She'll be up in just a few. Crystal Lorraine Ammons, who embodies everything that is about Morris Brown. She's a second generation Brownite. She and her sister Sharice and KK and her mother and father are graduates. They were in school with my mother and father. We have been lifelong friends. We were neighbors. Our backyards touched each other at one time. So we're going to bring Crystal on in just a moment. But before we do that, just want to continue to get us in the spirit of Morris Brown. And I want to first just thank last night. I had the tremendous honor of having two special guests on last evening. Ray Ransom, who is the founder of Brick. He was on last night. And then I had the great Ezra Johnson, who went to play football for Green Bay first round draft pick. And I tell you, the truth last night was an absolute blessing having both of those great men on in conversation as we talked about it, as they shared their love for Morris Brown. And it was just so great having them on and sharing. And we want you. I've invited friends who are going to stop by today to share their love and thought. Here's a picture of Ezra. I was trying to pull it up. Hall of Famer, just an absolute great guy, and married to a great woman and a longtime friend, Carmen Sparks Johnson. And we lift Carmen up this morning as well. But before I bring a few of my next guests on, let's get into Morris Brown's spirit and let's listen to this.
Performing John Doe by Public Enemy. And now the final chapter in tonight's band show. Rock band back. Anybody heard know how to party? Anybody in North Point know how to party? Anybody in Booker T know how to party? Anybody in Stone Mountain know how to party? Anybody in North Atlanta know how to party? Anybody in McNair know how to get down?
So I wanted to play the mat because Morris Brown is about traditions. And Brownites, when they hear that song at halftime, know that something is about to happen on the field with the marching Wolverines band. And also, I got folks coming. I got TJ, I got Crystal, I got Tan, I got Paul. So I'm going to bring my sister Crystal up right now. Crystal, look at you. Where are you?
I'm on the deck in Baltimore.
On the deck in Ball. Happy homecoming, my sister.
I can hear Tony Dixon saying right now, homecoming.
Yes.
The Honorable Tony Muhammad will start off homecoming for us in that fashion.
In that fashion, I tell you. Well, Krista, I am so glad to see you and glad to have you. And tell us what Morris Brown means to you and has meant to you and your family.
My goodness, Morris Brown means the world to me, so much so that I embraced like the legacy of my mother in trying to charge people to support the institution. I even tried to find people now who started at Brown who didn't finish back when we were in school to go ahead and support the institution now and go back to school, get that degree you always yearned for. There's still the possibility there, and that's a part of the effort to restore Morris Brown. Given the fact that we've never lost never closed the doors, makes it even more so important for us to hold Morris Brown so near and dear to our hearts and to support our institution. It's like when you come across that yard and you meet and greet all the people that you met when we stepped onto the campus back in August of 1979, there's just such a heartfelt moment. Everybody you see, that's why we couldn't be on the yard today in the midst of COVID, because too much hugging, too much embracing, too much loving going on. And it's all about the institution, our beloved Morris Brown College.
You are right, honey, because we got to hug up something, we got to kiss, we got to do all of that. And so it would have been one of those what do they call them, a spreading event or something?
A super spreader.
Super spreader. Lord have mercy. I tell you, all for the love of Morris Brown College. You graduated from Douglas High School and went to Morris Brown and very active, and you pledged Delta Sigma Theta sorority. In fact, you and your sisters are all members of Delta Sigma Theta sorority. Let me put this picture up of the Ammons sisters with their fresh coiffed hair due when this picture was taken. All Deltas. Sharice was a member of the Bubbling Brown Sugar. Crystal, all of your sorors would be on the yard, doing what the Deltas do. Okay.
Hey, we would be doing, wait, Skip. What we would be doing right now is celebrating the 40th anniversary of my line.
Is this your 40th year?
This is our 40th year as Deltas, and we are donating, each are giving a minimum of $100 to the college, in support of
Excellent.
our line, and
Excellent.
in the name of our line and our former soror, Miss Morris Brown College, Karen, who
Yeah.
passed,
Yeah.
and Karen Wyatt, who was former Miss Morris
Miss
Brown.
Morris Brown, our centennial Miss Morris Brown. Isn't that correct?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. So
Mhm.
yeah, we would be on the yard right now, stomping, chomping, having a good time, and just celebrating big time for our anniversary.
So Crystal, what I like for you to do is to charge and challenge and encourage your Delta Sorors from Morris Brown, and not just Morris Brown, but those who may be listening. I'm on YouTube now, several YouTube channels. I'm on all of the Morris Brown pages, Banishing Black Atlanta. So there are a lot of Deltas out there. Would you just issue a challenge to them to help to support our school?
Come on, Sarah. We're asking for that 1881 per month, and I have even fallen off the bandwagon myself at times and have stopped giving. But it's time to get on board, stay in tune with what Morris Brown is all about, and it's all about educating people. We may have to restore and come back in a different manner than what we were accustomed to when we were in college, but it's
Yeah.
still Morris Brown College. It still deserves the chance to honor, educate, and promote good good camaraderie, good spirit,
Hmm.
educating folks, and contributing to society
Yeah.
as we learn to work and teach and make a strong contribution. It's so important. It's vitally important. And you said it before, Morris
Mhm.
Brown is the food booth for us. It's for us, by us. And so that's why it's very important.
You are so right about that. And we encourage everybody to go to Cash App, $ restore Morris Brown, any amount, 5, 10, 15. If I got 40,000 members of my Banishing Black Atlanta Facebook page. If I could get 500 of them to give $10 today, or 1,000, to give five, or whatever the amount, it would help. And the reason why we're asking is that Morris Brown has reapplied for accreditation. The president has shared that is public news, and we need to continue to show fiscal stability. Morris Brown has gone through a tremendous amount over these last years. 17, almost 17 years since it lost its accreditation. The doors have remained open. Students have been taught and educated. Shout out to Dr. Stanley Pritchard for his gallant effort as president during those times. Shout out to the Morris Brown College Focus Group, the alumni group, the Women for Morris Brown, the Greeks for Morris Brown, and all who donated to help. Everyone is helped because in order to be reaccredited, you must stay open. And we are coming back. We are coming back. We are coming back in Jesus' name. We proclaim it. I need brown eyes who are watching. I need you to share this broadcast. I need you to, all you got to do is hit a share button, host a watch party. I need you to text some folks and tell them to send a donation. Restore Cash App. Cash App is the best thing that has happened for those of us who don't like to write checks, But Crystal, I don't want you
Hey,
to go
Skip,
anywhere. Yeah.
I'm not, let me just say one thing in that call
Please.
to action. How about this? Hey, Wolverines. Hey, Wolverines. I said, hey, Wolverines. What you got to
Yeah.
do? Wag your
Your
tails. And that's
tail.
what we're asking you to
Ooh.
do. Whoosh,
Mm.
whoosh.
Swoosh. Yeah. Boy, I tell you the truth. Wait a minute. Why y'all? I got a few putting some pictures up. I just grabbed some pictures that I just want to put on the screen. Just different scenes of the college. Crystal, you remember the old Matchbox, the old gymnasium. We used to have
Yes,
step
indeed.
shows in and basketball games and the whole 9 yards. And of course, on a day like today, we would be lying. I'm telling y'all, Crystal, and I'm gonna bring my other classmates up. So Tan and Carl, y'all need to be getting ready soon, and Wilma, and TJ as well. But talk about the parade and how deep it would be
I
on this morning.
I tell you one thing. I was not the person like my sisters who were active in the athletic kind of things like my sister was the bubbling brown sugar and those kinds of things. I was a sidelines kind of girl. And I waited, at Martin Luther King for that parade to come up. Once they came up, I marched along with them. That band used to spread out across the entire street. You had to
Yeah.
move out the way for Morris
Yes, you
Brown College.
did. Yes,
And
you did.
everybody came to our homecoming parade. Everybody. Morehouse, Clark, Spelmanites, they all had to see Morris Brown's parades because we had the best parade on the planet. I'll take the planet. I'm not just going to say the AU Center. That's how much I love my Morris Brown College Wolverines. That marching band was awesome.
It was spectacular, and folks followed us. Booker T. Washington Band was always in the parade, and they would have 100 people following them, and everybody followed us. So much excitement. People were lined and stacked on the bridge on both sides. Shout out to OJ. I got to find a picture of him, the greatest baton twirler in the world. I don't think I have a picture of OJ. And these are some later pictures of Morris Brown, but that bridge has brought us over. Well, Crystal, I want you to hang tight for a minute. And my other guest, I'm going to share this video, and then we'll be back shortly because I want to talk about a few of the Morris Brown traditions, including Dawn Dance, because right now most of us would be dragging on a Saturday morning because we were at the Morris Brown College Dawn Dance, which was a big tradition. So hang tight, I'll be back with you shortly. It's homecoming at Morris Brown, and we've been celebrating homecoming since the 1930s. Look at Miss Morris Brown in court. Look how beautiful. This was at the old Ponce de Leon Park. Our parades were epic. This is my former English teacher, Mrs. Jacqueline Burke, when she was the queen for Alpha Phi Alpha. I mean, back in the day, they used to really decorate those floats and go all out. It is homecoming. We would be ready for a parade. Crystal talked about folks lying deep trying to get a spot on the ML King. It was Hunter Street when I was growing up, and Ashford Street, now Joseph Lowry. So folks, we are celebrating Morris Brown's homecoming today. We invite you to give and to share a blessing to Morris Brown today. Scrolling, you will see the ticker for that. And then I'm bringing some other friends up to share. But let's watch this little quick video as we continue to celebrate Morris Brown.
You can let the Adrian.
So that's obviously a later parade because earlier parades would be packed. You couldn't hardly move. You could not hardly move at all. So I'm about to bring up some of my classmates and we're going to have a conversation. I got Crystal again. I got Crystal Jackson in the car. I got Dr. Tanyita Good Jones. I got Dr. Wilma Tony. These are all my girls, my friends. And so unmute yourselves unless I've muted you so that we can hear you. All right. Dr. Wilma Tony.
Hey, Brother Skip and
Hey,
Brown Knight.
Sister Wilma.
It's homecoming.
It's homecoming, baby.
Yeah.
Dr. Tanyita Good Jones. Hello, my sister. How
Hey,
are you, baby?
good morning.
Good morning to you as well.
It's a brown
These are my.
day.
It's homecoming, y'all. It is homecoming. We've heard from the two. We heard from the two crystals. You know, when Ann and Wilma get together, you can hardly get a word in.
I'm going to be quiet. I'm only going to speak when asked.
You can listen. They embody everything about Morris Brown. I tell you, they are
Absolutely
yin and yang together. Let me put this picture of them up.
Hey, we go way back.
They're with their second favorite person, Mule, Donald Henry. I'm their favorite person. That's the second favorite one.
You know
so Dr. Wilma, tell us about what Morris Brown means to you. Wilma is a graduate of the class of 1983. She's honorary class of 84, though. She attends all of our events and all. But Wilma, tell us Morris Brown, what it means and what this homecoming means to you.
Wow. I mean, when I think Morris Brown back in 1979, being a young girl coming from Columbus, Georgia, without a lot of experience, seeing the Black experience for the first time just showed me that you know, we're doing some great things. Thanks to Morris Brown. Morris Brown, you know, graduated. Just a strong school. Homecoming to me, I tell you, I haven't missed one. And so I was definitely not going to miss this one since 1979. Homecoming is everybody just coming back together, just a big reunion, a family reunion. That's what homecoming is, Morris Brown's homecoming. We don't need a band. We love a band. We don't need a football team. We love a football team, but we have each other and just coming back, seeing old friends, just getting a hug from someone you haven't seen in years. I mean, that's a family. That's a family. And just if it wasn't for Morris Brown, who knows where we would be right now.
Yeah, you are so right about that. And we miss the fact that we can't be on campus today.
Absolutely.
You know, as Crystal said, we'll be hugging and all of that kind of thing. Dr. Tan, tell us about what Morris Brown means to you. Tan is a Philly girl by way of Athens, Georgia. Tell us what Morris Brown means to you and homecoming.
Morris Brown, I could ditto everything everybody been saying for the past 1,000 years plus. Morris Brown, again, as I could just say, as Wilma did state, and Chris and all of us, we are family. It wasn't even about the sorority. For the most part, it was just about being who we are. It's Black. It's Black owned. We had some ownership, and I feel like we still had the ownership. And because of Morris Brown, it taught us, empower us as African Americans, as sisters, as brothers, that we all bleed red. And to this very day, I am so honored and so blessed to have been to an institution where I've been to quite a few institutions, but I promise you, I cannot trade Morris Brown for he gave me the route to where I am today, to be a successful citizen and to continue to recognize and empower me to continue to give back to my community. And like you said, a homecoming is something that I look forward to every year. Unlike Wilma, I missed one only because our Brown Knight, Joyce Littell, who's known throughout Atlanta, I grew up with, like you said, by way of Athens, got married. Mm-hmm. It just so happened to fall on that homecoming day. I actually touched the ground, but I don't count it because I had to just drive by and just kiss the sidewalk and keep going because I had to get to the wedding. Right. That's how serious I am about being a Brown Knight. I bleed purple. I love it. I love it. I love it. And just so happened that I'm in education and I had the honor and like Wilma, a lot of my Brown Knights, surprisingly, I had the opportunity, even with your daughter at some point, to come through Morris Brown and for them to see a Brown Knight and so they can hear our story. I had the opportunity with our children, your children, and in some cases, some grandchildren at this point, I love it. I love it. Crystal Jackson, I had her daughter, and to this day, we still bonded, and we're going to continue that. We never die. Morris Brown will never, ever die.
Never, ever, ever die. You are so right about that.
Campus, we're going to continue to do. If they only have one brick left, we're going to still walk that campus, and we're going to still claim it because it is ours.
It is ours. It belongs to us. Let me bring Dr. Carl Walton up, class of 1984. And let me also say, hey, Carl, good to have you. So listen, I gave y'all the wrong Cash App. The Cash App is $ restore Morris Brown, not restore MBC. For Morris Brown, and I need all my Brownites. I'm so sorry about that, but I need. Say that, honey.
Can you repeat that or put it in?
Yes, I'm gonna put it up on the screen again. I'm gonna put it. Let me put it up on the screen so everybody can see it. The Cash App is $ restore Morris Brown, or you can go on the website morrisbrown.edu-give or text to give GIVE 404-495-3870. All right. So anyway, we got Dr. Walton on. Carl Walton, tell us about Morris Brown. What does this day mean to you, your Morris Brown? I mean, just briefly kind of summate what Morris Brown has meant to you in your life, and what does homecoming mean to you?
First, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you, Reverend Dr. Mason, for having us on this morning to commemorate this homecoming time. For me, I mean, Morris Brown is where I grew up and came of age. I got there when I was 17 years old, and I was pretty much able to realize all of my dreams while I was there. I was able to do yearbook staff, pledged, became SGA president. So junior class president, I guess, along the way, but all those things that I wanted to do as far as the activities are concerned, all those things that I wanted to do as far as on the academic side, I was able to do. My foundation is Morris Brown. I tell people everywhere I go that, I was able to earn the PhD, but for Morris Brown, I would not have had the tools to get there to do that thing. And I always like to let people know that you can go to a small HBCU in Atlanta, Georgia, and still go get a PhD wherever you want to go get it.
Right, right.
Absolutely.
Like to say that, smaller schools didn't, have this or didn't have that or couldn't prepare, but they had everything. When I was in graduate school, the majority of us who were of color were from HBCUs.
Right.
Many of us were from HBCUs. And so it just goes to show that there is so much talent in our institutions, and our institutions provide opportunities. And so I just like to say that about Morris Brown. I'm just excited about where we are now and hoping that we can get back to that same place. And as Crystal said earlier, it's going to be a slightly different look in Morris Brown, but we can still do the same kinds of great things in the 21st century.
Absolutely, absolutely. And, so Carl, you were a member of the Marching Wolverines band.
Absolutely.
Tell us what that is. Let me put this picture up. Tell us what that
is. That's Carl.
F. Carl Walton.
So
yes.
What was that experience? What was that experience like for you, Carl?
The band. The band, that's my first Morris Brown family. That was the impetus for my coming to Morris. But I grew up wanting to be in the band. Wanted to be in the March Wolverine band. See, I see you got one of yours too.
Well, if I'm gonna show you, I got to show me now in my uniform.
Don't put me out there by myself.
That's right.
But no, I always wanted to be in that band. And I remember, I had the opportunity to come to the Turkey Day Classic my senior year in high school.
Right.
And they brought me up there for that game, and I was like, this is it. I nowhere else. I am going to Morris Brown. Next year, this time, I'm going to be out there in that Turkey Day Classic. So a year later, I had the opportunity. I was blessed to be able to come to Morris Brown. The band will forever be my family. It's a group that stays connected. This week earlier, when Mason had the drum majors on, that brought back a whole lot of memories.
Of
that freshman year. But that's my first family, and I think that the band is what people have often known us for, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's Okay, and it's a connector for Morris Brown, and I hope that at some point we can revive that music department energy.
Yes.
I mean, we were top notch and second to none in that space, and I'm hoping that that's a space that we can that we can get back in some form.
So y'all, let's talk about and TJ and Kevin. If you're listening, I hope you're coming in soon. But let's talk about homecoming week on Morris Brown's campus. You know, and all the events. So today is Saturday. So by now we would have had fraternity coronations. We would have had Miss Morris Brown's coronation. Concert. No, the concert was always on Saturday night. But how many of y'all remember the Dawn Dance?
Oh gosh, how can we forget?
Hey,
You
couldn't wait to get there, baby.
Right. We didn't sleep the night before.
And the Dawn Dance started at what time? About
midnight.
Was it midnight?
It was midnight.
Midnight.
I don't think nobody did that to us, but we did that. We did.
I mean,
well, you didn't sleep after Thursday because the coronation.
Right.
Absolutely right.
No, you didn't.
All day Friday, and then from the Dawn Dance to decorating floats. Back in the days when you decorated your own floats.
That's
so you
right.
were up getting floats ready after the Dawn Dance, and then you just went on.
True.
And I'm telling you, it was some messed up folks on Saturday morning. Let me just put that out there. But those who had a little bit too much fruit punch at the Dawn Dance.
Right.
Yes.
And then people stay up all night playing cards and just to stay up, you know, in games, board games.
Yeah.
You remember it was backgammon after that.
Yeah. Well, let me add a couple of more folks up to the screen who have joined us. We have our Miss Morris Brown College, 1987-88, the lovely K-Ron Ammon Stevens, KK. And we have Shep Eppinger, that great musician, the one who got locked in the band room because he fell asleep as we were on our way to Albany.
Don't start that.
Hey, where are you, man? I'm trying to bring some youth up in here, bruh. But I see you. But at any rate, Shep.
I'm probably the oldest one.
Yeah, you are the old. Well, I don't know. Shep, you class of what? What's your class?
82.
Yeah,
82.
well, right now in this group
Good.
you are
You did beat me out.
Of course.
You got 83 and you got 84. But KK, so good to have you here with us. And of course, she is a part of that Ammon's dynasty, the baby of the family. And we're just so glad to have you here. KK, talk about Morris Brown has been in your blood forever and a day with your mom and dad and all. But, you know, did you have any other choice to go to Morris Brown? Where you go somewhere? I know you weren't going to live on Colorado Trail and go to Spelman. We know that.
I'm class of 86, 87. Let me shout
86,
out to the
87.
class of 87.
That's right. Okay.
But I had some false choices.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to FAMU. They had a really good journalism program, and they actually given me a scholarship for about $2,000. And, you know, my mama was like, well, $2,000, you know, that's not going to pay the bills. So anyway, I had a false choice, and she talked me into participating in the summer science program at Morris Brown College. And of course, you cannot be on Morris Brown College without getting that Morris Brown College spirit.
Right.
And at that point, she didn't have to convince me to go to Morris Brown College. I wanted to go. It had always been in my heart anyway, but I was bound and determined I was going to do something different.
Yeah. But you got there and you did well. You became the Miss Morris Brown, and you had a magnificent coronation, if I must say so myself.
If you must say so yourself, yes.
If I must say so myself, as the co-director of your coronation. I'm trying to put a picture. But what was that like, though, KK, for you to be elected Miss Morris Brown? What was that like?
It was interesting. I tell you a little bit of a backstory. It may be a little known secret, but I was running as my mother's candidate, basically. I had no really designs or intentions on running for homecoming queen.
Right.
Yeah, my mind was all basically in the books. I say if I could go back, I would party more and study less.
Yeah.
Because people still don't understand how I lived in the towers and graduated not knowing how to play spades. But that happened.
Oh my Lord.
I know. Don't tell anybody else that, sister.
I think I remember that. And if you didn't know how to play spades, I know you didn't know how to play bid whisk.
No.
That was your mama's game.
Absolutely.
Most Fridays, there was a bid whisk party at the Ammons home.
Yeah.
Am I right about it? Yeah.
Always. Every year, at least once a year.
At least once a year.
But yeah, I didn't have any designs on it. But I noticed that the grade point average was 3.0 or 3.2, or it was pretty high to become Miss Morris Brown. And so, people who had designs on running, I guess, it just weeded out the field a little bit. So I thought, well, I'll run and I'll be either Miss Morris Brown College first runner-up or second runner-up. But the new SGA president, we love him, Roger Price. Anyway, the whole Student Government Association, they lowered the grade point average, and all of a sudden there were like 10 or 12 girls running.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
Yes. So my good friend Leslie Meadows, who had been Miss Douglas in my class of '83 at Douglas High, was at Spelman College, and she was part of my campaign committee. And we all put K's, the family and friends, Lacey, Patrick, and Kathy Lightfoot, and all the symphonettes. We just put K's all over the campus. KK, and people, who is KK and what is a KK?
Right.
Yeah. And so, but come time for the pageant, I mean, I don't know. It was just a lot of us. I think partly also two of the candidates split the Columbus, Georgia vote. So people who I thought were really good friends of mine from Columbus, Georgia were like, I apologize that I cannot vote for you. My girls are running from Columbus. So I think that Sherelle Dowdell and I'm seeing the other candidate, can't call a name right now, but I think they split that Columbus vote. And
they
so
split the Columbus vote.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow. That is something else, I tell you. Well, we are so glad to have you here with us, and hang tight. Shep, tell us about your Morris Brown. Shep was a member of the band, and talk about that for a few minutes, okay?
Okay. Well, actually, Mr. Johnson, Prof, came to my high school when I was in 12th grade. We were having our spring concert, and he was on one of his famous recruiting trips that I got a chance to be on. We'll talk about that, but he came over and saw me playing the French horn, and then I got up and I started playing the string bass. Now, my band director, of course, Mr. Sumner Smith, had graduated from Morris Brown. So that's how I knew about Morris Brown. And I had done some arranging and stuff for the band, and he knew that I was very interested in music. So I said, that's when I decided I wanted to become a band director in my 12th grade, when Johnson came over and he tried to recruit me and said, you know what, I need to give you a scholarship. And of course, he gave me one of those famous band scholarships.
Listen. So wait, we got to pause there for a second, because Prop would build you up with a scholarship. And Shep, how much was your scholarship? Do you remember?
I don't even know, because I didn't even need it, thank goodness. But I think it was $500. But I got a chance to. I actually got a chance to get an academic scholarship.
Right.
250.
Now, you were a drum major in high school, right?
Right, I was drum major at Southwest High School.
At Southwest High School.
Where you get that? Boy, if he isn't a
The wall of
historian,
shame.
you had to go way back.
I tell
But
you,
yeah,
I tell you.
I was drum major and student director at my high school. So the transition over to Morris Brown was easy. I honestly had a scholarship to FAMU.
Right.
And they wanted me to major in business administration, and I didn't want to do that. So I took the music scholarship at Morris Brown. I'm glad I did, because the traditions that Morris Brown taught me, I carried over into all of the bands that I was a director of. One of the most successful things that came from that, and this is my secret, I can finally say it now because I'm retired, and any band director that's listening now can finally get that secret. The secret to a successful program, to really make it stand out more than any other band that you face, was Morris Brown's pace of practice, the tempo of practice. Our tempo was, if you recall, was so fast, and they pushed us so much that I transitioned that to my high school bands, and I would sit there and watch other bands, and they would do their shows, and it would just seem like they were really in slow motion, according to how I pushed my students. So that's the key secret that I stole from Morris Brown. It was the pace of the practice and the pace of the show. So from coming out the hole to actual halftime, pushing those dancers, the auxiliary, and the band members, that quick pace, that was the secret to my success as a band director. That's why my band
can see hey Chef, I can see Prof on the sideline rushing, wanting us to speed up, you know, and just move fast, you know, from the coming out of the hole and all of that. So, you know, you class of 82, and we got 83, we got 87, 84 on the line. And shout out to all of you, to Brownites who are listening, watching, friends. We want you to share and donate to Morris Brown today. This is our homecoming day. Donate by Cash App, $ Restore Morris Brown, or the website www.morrisbrown.edu, or give to text. So if we were on the yard today, right now, there'd be a whole lot of energy and a whole lot of things going on. You know, let me put this clip up right here.
Hey, what's up, family? This is Dr. Kevin James, interim president of Morris Brown College, right here in Atlanta, Georgia. Listen, the hard reset. Subscribe, hit that like button. We'll holla at you.
Yo, Sean, what is it?
I said astigmatism in my soul.
Remember what I told you.
The AKs only had one dance, and they do it
Don't
all.
even talk about it. That's a classic.
Are we outnumbered or something? Because, you know, are there more Deltas on this call or what?
Well, there are a couple of Deltas on, and I tried to find a good Delta clip, you know, so let me see.
What's up, bro?
So at any rate, this is what we will be
Crystal can probably
doing.
do a step, you know, Crystal can probably.
Oh, well, you know the
herself.
Deltas.
That shoulder, knee, head.
Shoulder, knee, head. That's our classic. That's right.
That's our classic step there. Yes, indeed. And they have the whole area in front of Griffin High Tower to spread out and to do their thing. So are we missing homecoming today being on the yard?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm having withdrawals. Yes.
I know.
I could hear the
I'm
band as
sure.
Shep was talking. I could just see the pace and see the drum majors doing their thing, and oh man, and going into bandstands, and oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's just amazing. And let me say again, Calvin Russell, my good friend, classmate, the Cash App, I gave the wrong one out, but the correct one is $ Restore Morris Brown. $ Restore Morris Brown. Shout out to Michael Waller, class of 1972. And I see some members of the class of 1984 watching, 79, Miranda McKenzie, and so many others are watching today. So I want to shout them out as well as former marching Wolverines. So now this is what I want to do. All the folks who lived in the towers, that Grand Hotel, on Mitchell Street. Let me see if I can find a picture of the towers. So I need all of the folks who lived in the towers to make a donation to Morris Brown. Hold on, let me put the picture up.
That's right. That's right.
Uh-oh. Give me 1 second. You know, I'm the engineer. Here we go. There's the towers. That great. Did any of you all live in the towers?
Yay, 8th floor.
8th floor.
Hey, listen, Skip, they thought I lived in the towers. People thought I was in those towers so much, and I hung, I slept, I nestled. I had a free ride. I didn't have to pay for residential housing. I had a free ride because I just spent the night in all them little bitty rooms with my friends. They loved me so much. They just gave me a little inch of space on the inch of bed that they had, and I had a ball. People thought I was from Macon. But I was because I was on the yard.
Well, that was kind of the story for a number of us, you know.
Yes.
I didn't officially move on the campus until my senior year. Or was it my junior year? A senior year. But the years prior to, I roomed with Carl and Pedro, you know, as an unofficial sub dog until I became. So all the folks watching, if you live in the towers, put it in the comment section. Whatever your room number was, I need you to give that amount of money. And I'm not talking about $3.04 if you lived in 304, okay? I need you to give, shout out to all of the former Bubbling Brown Sugars. It's so good of you. And AK and Crystal's sister is on this picture, second from left. Cherie, shout out to you. I need all of the Bubbling Brown Sugars to give. We call out the name of the greatest fan at Morris Brown, super fan. Nobody loved Morris Brown more than this young man. Rest in peace.
Yes.
And bless his heart. Let me see all of the folks who lived in Wilkes Hall. This is an old picture of Wilkes Hall.
Wow.
Yeah, but all of the Wilkes Hall folks, I need you to give. If you lived in Wilkes Hall, put it in the comment section, and you need to give as well. And let me see what else. The the student union building, dormitory of guys and gentlemen, all of the sub dogs.
Yes.
Dolls, yes. And this was our student union building. This was the band room. You had the newspaper, yearbook, SGA offices, bowling alley. What else was in there? A pool hall.
Scholars.
Yeah. So this was and then Cunningham Auditorium.
Oh yeah.
Where a whole lot of events took place as well. And so we're celebrating Morris Brown today with a group of my friends and classmates. Let me see if you all recognize this young lady on the left-hand side. Anybody recognize her?
Hold on. On the left.
Yes, she's an attendant to Miss Freshman. Let me see if you recognize this person.
Nene Leach.
Yeah, I just had to
Miss
get in.
Nene Leach.
Oh yeah.
Nene is a former Morris Brown student. She was an attendant to Miss Freshman and very engaged and involved. And I'm trying to track her down so I can put her on my show. We remember Bishop McKinley Young, one of the great Morris Brown graduates. When he died, I think maybe 2 years ago, he was a senior bishop of the African Methodist Church. It is homecoming day at Morris Brown, and I am celebrating with some friends. This is a typical scene of Morris Brown's football game at the old Herndon Stadium.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. You know, and that's Crystal, I believe. Yeah, that's Crystal.
Crystal and Wilma Tony. I mean, not Wilma, Wilma Toski.
Where are
Yeah,
you?
Melva Taski.
Melva
Which one is you, Crystal?
Yeah, Melva Taski.
And,
which one is you, Crystal?
It's Crystal Jackson, not Crystal
okay.
Taylor.
In the brown jacket, and that's Melvia, the AKA, and to the left, there's Angela.
That's Angela. Yeah.
Another good soldier for Morris Brown gone.
Yes.
Yes.
Angie was in all of those fashion shows. If it was a fashion show at Morris Brown, you knew she was going to be in it.
Yes.
As well. Shout out to the dynamic members of the class of '84. There will be no more like the class of '84. We celebrated our 35th class reunion.
Class of Morris Brown.
Say what, Chef?
I said second best class at Morris Brown, of course. Yeah.
Sound like I hear some muffling in your feedback.
Okay. Right.
I need you to clear your lines. I need you to clear. Shout out to my mother this morning, a former major and just continue to keep Mom in your prayers. This is her majorette group back in 1952 or 53 or something along that line. And so what else do we have here as we are celebrating? We remember Thomas Byrd, class of '72, great actor, loved Morris Brown, attended homecoming games and all. And so we, a member of Omega Psi Phi fraternity Incorporated.
A professor at Morris Brown.
And a professor as well, and various pictures of our band over the years and our football team. Shout out to the football players. I think Todd Wilcher is going to join me in a later hour. Our beautiful queens, because this is about our homecoming royalty over the years. And we've had some beautiful, beautiful women to represent Morris Brown as queens over the years. And so we celebrate them. We shout out to some of our former professors, Dean Payne, and Mr. Law, and Mr. Burnett, and so many others. So, you know, let's talk about for a few minutes the future of Morris Brown and why it is so important that alumni become engaged, you know, in what's going on. See, this has been a problem for me over the years, and I've shared this with Paul. I said, homecoming day, we get all hyped. We come up to the campus, hundreds, maybe thousands of people on the campus. Now, how do we equate that to support? You know, homecoming is a feel-good day for us, but how do we make that a day that the college can benefit from it? What are your thoughts on that? Anybody, just please share.
Well, Skip, one contribution that I made to that effort was as a long-term member of Big Bethel AME Church. I actually ministered the Morris Brown College ministry for a number of years. Mm-hmm. And in doing so, I solicited support not just from our membership, but from other classmates and friends from Morris Brown. And we had them to come back to the church for those particular days of worship for us. and then even started what we called a walk for Morris Brown College, which started with the Jericho Walk, where we walked the campus 7 times in honor of the biblical reference to restoring Morris Brown College. And so that was one way, just engaging alumni to give, and the membership at my church as well as other AME churches.
That's good, Crystal. And so it takes that engagement. What do you all say? Morris Brown, the president has indicated that they reapplied. This is a great opportunity for us, but we need funds. We're down to 3 buildings, only 1 building in operation. Griffin High Towers, of course, boarded up. Fountain Hall is getting a new roof. And I wish I had pulled some footage from that, but it's a beautiful thing. But once we get the accreditation, then, now the rebuilding it, Brown Knights are going to have to get no way to get around it. We got to show our support. We got to believe before we invite others to believe. What do you all say?
Can we
Wilma, for some reason we've lost you. We've lost your audio.
Yeah.
So we can't.
You want to go ahead?
We can't hear you. So I don't know. Did you have the headphones on all the time?
She did, but I think it's doing something. You can't. She did.
Okay. Somehow we've lost your audio, so you may have to boot out and come back in.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we are waiting on her to come back in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we still can't hear you, Wilma. Yeah, so boot out and come back in. Sometime it happens. This is technology. What were you saying, Tan?
I wanted to add the fact that as we shared on yesterday, a couple of days ago, that I continue to give as an alumni through promoting the national through our national alumni membership.
Yeah,
I feel as though our younger generation is it's not enough information out there for them. So I would like to see how we can use, because the social media, they do tweet every day. I'm not a tweeter.
Right.
And social media, I think if all of us and all the listeners will continue to share, if everybody share, like right now, the listener, including myself, out there even today, the hashtag to restore. And that word restore meaning a lot. I just made my donation through that, although I made another donation through the AKA sorority.
Right.
Year. I just did that. So I want our viewers to see that it actually do work. Another thing I would like to share is the fact that we have so many educated alumni in every diversity. I would like to see our radio and our media people to do PBS, public service announcements, since it's not, you can run those ads for free, but you still got to do it with the timely manner, being that to get in those the public service announcement spots. Again, that should be ongoing on every channel, public service to give back and then start having those walks. There's other little events, but I know we are virtual now, and social distances mean a lot.
Sure.
And include, just some things that we could do, just a ride by. And that's very popular, doing a ride by parade, which is really, we could have did, maybe this spring, maybe our younger people, hopefully our listener can coordinate that. And I think we can do that. But again, we cannot, it's so many ways. It's not no one way, the right way, but every way we can share.
Right.
We got to get some comeback, guys. We really need some comeback.
We got to do it. And if the alumni don't do it, because we tend to want Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey. They ain't thinking about Morris Brown.
No.
Okay, they're not thinking about Morris Brown. We got to believe in the school. We got to demonstrate that. Right. I don't know what Wilma doing right now with that phone.
I didn't know y'all can hear all that going on. I'm sorry.
Wilma, you are live on Facebook, okay? I just want you to know that. You are live on Facebook. All right.
It's called technical difficulties, Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, y'all, look who's here. Professor Benjamin Strickland. Y'all remember Strick?
Hey.
Yeah. Hey, Strick. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. And let me do a little shout out. Shout out to the class of '93. Let me scroll up a little and see who else. And shout out to my little sister Paige Perry and Carla Reddick, Carla Odom Reddick, my classmate, cousin Chucky. Shout out to him, Morris Brown graduate, and Laura Lane, her mother, Miss Pauline Morgan White, Teresa Oglesby Hawkins, my sister Margaret Woodard Jackson, class of '68, Al Ashore, who we all had to help get out of Morris Brown. You know, great potential. Now he's some big executive over at Chick-fil-A. I'm still waiting for my free sandwich coupons, Darryl, to give to our neighbors, our transitional community. You promised me. Happy homecoming to my little daughter, Morris Brown, Keena Jones, former Miss Morris Brown, Terry McCreary. Hey, man, happy homecoming to you as well. And Ethelene Kimber. Ethelene used to work in the English office for Miss Dr. Farmer. Y'all remember? Any of y'all remember Ethelene Kimber? Yes. Shout out to her and to soon to be Dr. Thomas Warner, who's a great musician. And also, those are the ones that I can see right now, and I'll pick up a few other ones as well. Let me bring on this Morris Brown couple here, Narissa and Ron. Hey, y'all.
Oh yeah,
That is Morris Brown. The Morris Brown.
Yes,
indeed. Morris Brown. Yes.
I mean, can you all hear us? Can you hear me?
Hey, Skip. Yes. That's the platinum members right there.
That's the platinum members. Yes, indeed. Well, we're glad to have you on, and tell us what this home means to you all. Norris and Ron.
Kind of disappointed that we can't see each other and touch and hug each other like we normally do, but I wouldn't pass up a Morris Brown homecoming for anything. It's been a lifelong thing, and I pray that it continue well past all of our lives.
That's the truth. And I wouldn't be surprised if Narissa's mom and dad are somewhere sitting in a lawn chair on the campus today.
You better know it.
Norris and Amelia Long, they are die hard
since 1952.
Since 1952. My mama's classmates, and Norris was president of the class and all of that. Yes, indeed. Well, I know you all had you were doing some church work today. I'm glad you stopped by. We're trying to encourage people. And Narissa, you have been consistent over the years. You served, and I don't know whether you're still treasurer of the National Alumni Association, but in those down years, you have been engaged when many of us, we were so emotionally wrought, it was just hard for some of us to really, and I'll be honest with you, for me, it really was, because I was working, as you know, we were working at Morris Brown at the time. Right. And we had reached apex. Dr. Walton was there, over 2,000 students. Right. The band was booming. The campus, we had students at hotels around the city. It was a student affairs nightmare, I say the least, but it was something great. But after we lost the accreditation, we just kind of all went into it. And I told the president this, let me say this, and I told Dr. Walton and the others, I said, what you got to understand about Brown Ice is that when you're in the room with Brown Ice, you're going to get some emotion, okay? You're going to get a lot of emotion. You're going to get testimonies. You're going to get personal stories. Many folks have not totally healed from the loss of the accreditation, and so that post-stress is real with a lot of Brown Ice, and so you're gonna get that from people, and we're still trying to wrap our whole head around it, that the Morris Brown that we once loved and knew was no longer. We know that we're gonna come back. Hey, Gloria Barber, I see you. Good to see you, sweetheart. But Narissa, tell us about those. You stuck with those years, the dark years from loss of accreditation now? Can you hear me? Okay, well, maybe they can't hear me.
Accreditation.
Looks like it may be a lag.
Okay,
Yes, I can.
okay, go ahead. We can hear you. Okay, well, such as it is, you're breaking up a little, and so we can't really hear you. But when you get into a good zone, we'll be able to come back. But let's take a moment for a second. Hey, Janice, how you doing? So good to see you. I want you to watch this clip for a moment, please.
Richards, a historic college that lost its accreditation more than a decade ago, says it's on the road to recovery. Morris Brown College posted on Facebook the initial inquiry to get the school's accreditation back has been accepted. The school says its interim president will meet with the vice president of the Transnational Association of Christian Colleges and Schools early next month, and that will get the process started. It's been a long journey for Morris Brown, the first educational institution in our state to open under sole African-American patronage. The school lost its accreditation in 2002, went bankrupt, but was saved when the city and Friendship Baptist Church bought it in 2014. At times, though, its enrollment sat at less than 100 students. And as an
Well, now that's not true. Friendship and the city did not buy Morris Brown.
Right.
They purchased some land, okay, and we did what we had to do, in that event. But we're still standing. That's the whole point. That's the point that I'm trying to make.
That is, Skip. And then I was thinking about, and I know Dr. Drayton had some ideas about fundraising, right? Before she lost her audio. But, we were sort of this little known, the best kept secret in the Atlanta University Center. I like to think of it like that, where some other names may have dwarfed ours, but we were still doing and contributing and, pushing out graduates and successful folk, just like any other historically Black college or university. So it was just a dark irony for us to have reached sort of that pinnacle where we weren't the best kept secret anymore. People knew who we were. And then for us to lose our accreditation due to, just a horrible mismanagement and calculation in judgment, to use ghost scholarships or whatever monies into the school where students really weren't enrolled. I think that was the crux of it. A lot of people think that the president at that time, almost don't want to say the name, but was pocketing the money. But the fact of the matter is that she was using money, putting it back into the school, but it really wasn't money that was the schools, because the students weren't actually enrolled. That was my understanding of the situation. Dr. Walton may know a little something about it as well. But, to be, featured in Drumline, the only school that actually had the actual name of the school, it was, people finally knew who we were. So to have that fall when we were at that pinnacle, weren't we the first, certainly in the Atlanta University Center, to have a laptop in the hand of every student?
Yeah, it cost us, but we were.
You can find out. I was from Atlanta, asked me if I knew about Morris Brown College.
Yeah, it did cost us, and decisions were made that may not have been in the best interest, and who was that? Dolores.
My aunt is saying in the background, and she is a staunch Spelman College and Morris Brown College supporter, and she said she was on a cruise ship in Oklahoma, and because of the movie Drumline, and he knew she was from Atlanta, the person from Oklahoma asked her, were you familiar with Morris Brown College? So now all of a sudden the name is out all over.
Well, it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be our greatest time. Drumline. I mean, that created an avalanche of applications to Morris Brown. It was supposed to be our greatest time. And what we knew, I was sitting with Dr. Thompson at the time, who was then the president. We were at the Civic Center at the premiere. and Morris Brown was in accreditation appeal at the time. Okay, but it did great wonders for Black college bands and the whole 9 yards and so forth. So, Narissa,
if I can jump on that for a second.
Yeah, go ahead, please. Share.
Yeah, about the drumline. Yet being a band director, during that time, you just can't imagine the enthusiasm and the excitement for a college, and it actually helped us promote the traditional marching experience as opposed to the corps style, because there were so many corps style competitions all across the country that were happening. And, I had a band that actually had to participate in a lot of corps style competitions.
Right.
But when people saw drumline and how traditional bands were just so much on another level, then it helped my cause in just recruiting, just leaps and bounds, if students wanted to be in the band.
Oh, Shep, when you say that core style, oh my goodness, in the band at Douglas High School, I often wondered, what if we just did our band dance at festival? Maybe it would be something amazing, because we try to do this core style, and I don't know. It was just not.
You didn't want to do that, because we did that one time, and boy, the ratings were not good when we did that. So we had to always stick to that core style.
Let's watch our bubbling brown sugar. Go ahead, Wilma. Go ahead.
Thanks. Just speaking of the band, coming from a traditional school from Columbus, Georgia, and it was basically a mixed school, but the majority were not African Americans. And then coming to Atlanta, and then we did the traditional band routine there. But coming to Atlanta and coming to Morris Brown and seeing an African American band for the first time, it blew my mind. I had no idea that a band could do those things.
Wow.
And that was just a wake up right there. Just seeing an African American band compared to what I saw in Columbus, Georgia, was totally different.
Hey, Wilma, listen, I liken that to a story that I'm going to put. I'm going to put Gail Gilchrist on blast right now. Gail Gilchrist from Augusta. She said to me that when Prof recruited her and brought her to Morris Brown College, she kept trying to figure out, well, when am I going to twirl my baton? And she said, I can't let my mama come up here and see me dancing like this.
I mean, it was just amazing to see a band like that being 17 years old. It was just an eye opener. Yes.
Very much so. Very much so. Let's watch this. Got a couple of clips I want to share with you. And we talk about the band a lot. And as Paul Walton said, that's okay. There was a president at the college who was anti-band. That's not the best I can put it. And didn't see the value of the importance of the band as a recruitment tool. Okay, one of our presidents, Dr. Three, they wasn't Dr. Three, but and it wasn't Dr. Jolly. Okay, so y'all can figure the rest of that out.
Must have been my president then.
I know that president gave Prof a hard time, okay? And I remember having a conversation with Tracy. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to last. They cut down on recruitment, travel, the whole 9 yards.
He did not like bubbling.
And did not like bubbling. Let me share a couple of clips. So this is certainly not the bubbling of our time.
They're right.
It bubbled, but certainly not the way that our ones that we knew, like this group with cons, okay. But different times, different times, and that group was not like this group,
Right.
That's right.
You know, but it is what it is. And I'm waiting for my good friend, Morris Brown graduate, the Honorable Sheriff Melody Maddox. Melody, we're waiting for you to come on, honey, to share with us as well. And as you see strolling, we have the way you can give to Morris Brown, Cash App, $ restore, $ restore Morris Brown, or www.morrisbrown.edu, or give or text to give 444953870.
Dr. Mason?
Yes.
I would like to make a challenge. You know,
Okay.
I used to do the for a minute. I did the public broadcasting telethons.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see, if you were a member of the Symphonet Society, the part of Miss Morris Brown College, our coalition of queens. If you were in the summer science program and Dr. Durge recruited you, if you were on the staff of the Wolverine Observer, if you were a member of the Student Government Association, I challenge you to match my $250 gift, match or beat my $250 gift to $ restore Morris Brown College.
Repeat those groups again.
All right, let's see if I can remember. I'm trying to think of all the ones I was active in when I wasn't learning how to play spades.
Okay.
So it was Wolverine Observer. I was editor-in-chief for a couple of years. The Wolverine Observer, Secretary of Student Government Association 1 year. Student Government Association. Oh, I left one out. Okay, Morris Brown College Concert Choir, especially if you were under, I'm not calling his name right now.
Halsey.
Dr. Halsey. The Morris Brown College Queens Coalition. And there's one more that I see. Oh, Symphonet Society.
Okay. So let me put these up. Karen Ammon Stevens is challenging all of you who were part of the Wolverine Observer, SGA, Symphonet, MBC Concert Choir, and MBC Queens to make a donation. We don't need no pledges today, y'all. We need cash.
Yeah.
We need you to pay.
$250 or better.
250
or better
on Cash App. We need you all to do that. And Carl and Shep and Narissa and I are challenging all of the MBC Marching Wolverines. If you know what this song means, let me play it. Then you need to make a donation.
Yes.
To all of our Wolverines, Wolverines, to the fighting Wolverines. And let me shout out. I'm gonna get you, Dr. Tony. Terry Chastain Allen, my classmate, cousin Karif, to my grandson Clarence White and Michelle. Happy homecoming to you, and we challenge the men of Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity, and of course, Crystal has issued the challenge to the Deltas, Terry and Tammy, and Andre, I see you, brother, and Timothy Grant, hey, brother, Todd Green, Eric Walker, Yolanda, Kendrick call them. Shout out to you and Bruce, and happy anniversary. John Scales, we know you can do it big. All right, make a big donation. Chuck Ramsey, Reverend Dr. Chuck Ramsey, and Robbie. We want all of the AME ministers, preachers. Amen. You know, Martha had a lot of preachers on the yard back in the day. And we call out and remember our beloved Reverend Scotty Sweeney. You know, rest in peace, Scotty. We remember him. He took good care of us down in the sub. He was our dorm father for real, and hid us from those twins, Andre and Alan, wherever you are. Happy homecoming to you. Y'all need to make a donation as well, and others. Let me unmute Narissa and Ron. You all can unmute yourself. Narissa, your brother said he's trying to get in. I don't know whether he's trying to get in on the show or what. You know, he can't let you be on, and he can't be on as well. So, you know, if you want to share, I got room. Well, I'm waiting for Melody to come, and also Miss Clara Jackson Johnson, Miss Morris Brown, 1937, is going to stop by soon and all. But we are in the second. Oh my God, we're in the second hour of this 2 hour or 2.5 hour marathon for Morris Brown College. Donate to Morris Brown College today. Paul, you have, for the most part, since you've graduated, have stuck by and worked with the Section of UJ at HBCUs. Yes. You were at Lincoln, where you were VP, Lincoln University up in Pennsylvania. You were at Savannah State, and now you are at Southern University, where you are the vice president of. Let me get it right.
For student affairs, it's called chancellors here. Vice
chancellor for student affairs and all. And so, what does this HBCU mean to you? What does this mean?
It's life. It definitely looks like I've committed my life to that. And it all began with what I saw happen for us at Morris Brown. I always wanted to be able to give people back what I was given.
Right.
At Morris Brown. I mean, that experience.
Hold that thought for 1 second. Just 1 second. We're going to come back because we have with us the vivacious Miss Morris Brown, 1937. One of the loves of my life, Aunt Precious Miss Clara Jackson Johnson. And Greta. Hello, sweetheart.
Hello, Sim.
How are you, darling?
Oh,
hello.
It is so good to see you. She is a national treasure. I mean that, not just a Morris Brown treasure, but a national treasure. She and her family are lifelong, knee-deep members of Morris Brown, the Jackson family, and we are so glad. And then, of course, you got the Wilburn family and other parts of that. But let me put this beautiful picture up. This is our queen, y'all. Yeah. 1937, and the oldest living. Somebody need to mute their phone for a minute. We can hear something in the background. But Aunt Clara, so good to see you. How you doing today? Can you hear me? Andretta, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. How are you doing today?
Yes, hello, everybody. This is the
good.
Best life.
Well, we are so... Well, we got a little technical. We can see you a little. We got it breaking up just a tad bit, but that is technology. But we just wanted to wish you both. I like that sweater you got on, Andretta. Beautiful sweater. But we wanted to wish you all a beautiful and happy homecoming. I feel like it's homecoming now that I have laid my eyes on you. And just so glad to see you again. We love you dearly. And thank you for being our precious queen.
Thank you, everybody. Happy homecoming.
Happy homecoming to you, and love to all of the family, okay?
Same to you. Thanks, Skip.
Okay. Thank you, Andrea. Bye, Precious. Take care, sweetheart. All right. All right. That was wonderful. Let me bring all of my guests back up. Just a second. Here they go. Let me see who's not up here. Shep is up. Okay. Well, Carl and Sheriff, I'm going to bring you up in just a second. I see your pretty face. Dr. Walton, go ahead and finish. Hold on one second, please. Let me unmute you. Okay, Carl, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that Morris Brown was such a valuable space for me, and the faculty and administrators there poured so much into me and to other students there. I saw that as such a wonderful example, and I've always just wanted to emulate that, emulate, do all of that, for my students as I've moved forward. So starting in the classroom and eventually transitioning to administration. So I just always try to remember, what I got out of my HBCU experience, and I try to give that back. And so it's interesting. I've had the opportunity to serve at like 3 different kinds of institutions. But at the end of the day, students want faculty, staff, administrators who care about them and who are going to pour into them. And I just try to keep that going. And I see we got a bunch of educators on here.
Yes.
And I think that's where we got that, and that's the foundation of it, what we got there. But it had an impact on my life that continues. And I go to these schools that have their pride, but they always know that I went to Morris Brown.
Yeah.
I love them, and I wear their paraphernalia and everything while I'm there. But today, you see.
I see.
Yes, indeed.
So and always, talk about Morris Brown. It's interesting. I'm at a band school now, as you know.
Right.
Southern is, the Human Jukebox. Shout out to them. They pay me. but I was saying
we will allow that shout out. Okay.
Just a quick shout out in case anybody from Southern's listening. But no, when I was in my interview, someone asked me about bands and what toward the end of the interview when it was getting a little more comfortable, and I was asked what I knew about the Human Jukebox. I said, well, great band, and they said they were the greatest band ever. I said, okay. I said, well, okay, so I'm in the interview, and I went to Morris Brown. I'm a marching Wolverine, but since we are on a break for a while, I will defer.
Yes.
I said, I will defer, we're on a break right now, but we'll be back. But all of that. And as I said, that was the foundation, but I just always appreciate what we're able to do. And I want to say, because some people try to apologize for what HBCUs do. And sometimes we've allowed broader society to make us feel bad about what we've done. We were always bringing people in who need a little extra push.
Absolutely.
To they got
yes.
But the other part of the world has begun to make us feel bad about that and make us feel like we're less than.
That's right.
And we can never own, receive, or allow that. We've got to push back at every, and everybody that doesn't have faith in us doesn't look like, some of them are melanin enhanced.
Yes.
And some melanin enhanced people are not our friends either.
Right.
And so we've got to always be vigilant and unapologetic about what HBCUs do and who we serve, and be okay about that. It doesn't mean that we can't serve. Morris Brown was diverse.
Yes.
Morris Brown was diverse. And so, we can do that. And before I go, Skip, can I also just do a little challenge for the people that we already talked about the band. I'm going to talk about the Brown Knight Yearbook staff members. I was a part of the yearbook staff. Iota chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha, and former SGA presidents.
Okay.
Please, I
got it.
I join you guys with the band challenge with members of the Brown Knight Yearbook staff.
We got it, called Brown Knight Yearbook, Iota chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha, and the SGA presidents. You are being challenged to make a donation today. Cash app, online, and all of that kind of stuff. So now, listen, y'all, let me tell you what a HBCU education can do. It can get a beautiful young lady, smart, talented, and brilliant, elected. I think as my number might be off the 50th sheriff, and unmute yourself, Sheriff. DeKalb County. Y'all, let's give some Brownite love to Sheriff Melody Matters, my sister, my friend. Well, hello, dear Sheriff.
Well, good morning. Hello, Brown Eyes. I'm so excited. As you can see, I'm representing. That's right. Brown all weekend long. I'm sitting here in my little makeshift office at home. I just want to say that I am so missing the face-to-face interaction.
Yeah.
I look forward. Let me say, somebody's calling. I promise you, every year I leave looking forward to next year seeing you all, and I'm just really this is really just bothering me.
Yeah.
But how's everybody else doing this morning? I'm so excited to see you all here, though.
We are doing fine, and we're glad
you.
to see you. So Sheriff, tell us about, when you were at Morris Brown, you were very active. What Morris Brown means to you and has meant to you over the years.
Let me tell you, Morris Brown was the foundation. Had it not been for Morris Brown giving me the opportunity to showcase my talent, I would not be the 50th sheriff of DeKalb County in 193 years of history, but the first female and the first African-American female sheriff. Morris Brown taught me perseverance. But one thing it really taught me is love, because at Morris Brown, we were a family. And, my daughter, she wanted to go to Morris Brown, but unfortunately, that's when everything took place. So she was going to Fort Valley. However, though, it was amazing because I would bring my daughter to school with me for class, for my classes, and I could trust my friends to watch out for her while I attend my class, and we did it for one another. So those of us that had children at that time, we took care of each other's children while each of us went to class, and that was just amazing to me. But not only that, I have to say, and I'm proud to say, as a freshman, I was 24 years old. So here I am, I'm thinking I'm too old to even be in college, but much less to try for the bubbling against 60-something other girls and become a 24. I'm like, wow.
Wow.
So it was amazing. I ran track. Miss Black and Gold. I'm sorry, Miss Black and Gold. Okay. For 1990, I have to get it, Skip. 1991 to 92, and I also won for the state of Georgia.
Yeah,
and went
you
on
sure did.
To represent the South. So it was an amazing journey for me. And Morris Brown is the pride of Earth. And if you ever look at any of my interviews, you always hear me talk about number one, God, but number two, Morris Brown.
Morris Brown. Yes, indeed. So let me ask all of you, who was that professor or that teacher or that staff on the campus that inspired you while you were a student?
I say Vera Benton.
Miss Vera Benton.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And,
absolutely.
I remember I had a work study job with Miss Benton, right? And keep in mind, I never really had a work background, and I got a work study job with her. And I was sharing with whoever when I would go, I was just packing up, just stack papers and then try to leave. And so she corrected me one day. She said, "Young lady," she said, "I don't know what you doing," but she said, "It's called work." And I said, "Okay." They told me to come here, and I'm thinking I just sit there or whatever. I don't have to tell you everything to do. When you come in here, this need to be done, that needs to be done. She had this whole list, and I was waiting for her to tell me. I would do one thing and sit there. So through her, I learned work ethics, and I learned a lifetime, which is a lifetime skill.
Yeah.
And through her, I learned the empowerment of a Black female. When she stood firm. And again, it brought the fear of being not away from my grandparents who along with my mom, having a teen mother who helped raise me. It taught me the fact that the fear of the continue to respect the elders. She didn't even have to be around, but I knew when I was on that campus, just the thought of her might seeing me do something.
Right.
But between her and Professor Dr. Bird, really good. And again, I'll go to my grave with that. She was one of the most outstanding she was a parent. She was a mother to all who came under her roof. She really meant, she genuinely loved you, and she didn't cut any corners. She had no sympathy for foolishness.
At all. Wow. Anybody else had a favorite professor?
Yeah.
I would have to say,
Well, I tell you,
of course, Mrs. Middleton, Dr. Payne, and like you said, Miss Benton was there as well.
Yeah.
But the one that really stuck out for me was Dr. Johnny Mae Dumas Myers. And
Dr.
I have to
Myers.
say her full name because that's how she used to say it when she would come in class for us criminal justice majors. She would say, "I'm Dr. Johnny Mae Dumas Myers," and if you don't like it, and she would always have this little thing that she would say. But I never knew. I always thought she was a little rough and so hard on us, but I didn't know that what she was doing was preparing me for this journey. And I appreciate it. And she was very strict. And she would stand at the door, and if you had a paper that was due, and if you did not get that paper in by the time she closed that door, it was done. And you were forced to keep a journal every day. To this day, I keep a journal in preparation for me to write my book. But I didn't understand it then. But as the old folks say, by and by.
That's right. Yes, yes, indeed.
For me,
Anybody else?
Yeah, for me, I wanted to say I almost have a parallel story with that. Dr. Gilliam was one of the toughest, if not the toughest professor I ever had. He taught music theory. In my first year, he would always come in and say, "Well, what are you gonna? You gonna work at McDonald's or what?" Yeah, most of you are gonna end up working at McDonald's because you're not gonna do this work correctly. And he would never give any letter grades. He would just go by and give a red pencil mark on what you did right and what you did wrong. And you wouldn't know your grade until the end of the semester. And I just wouldn't understand. I would never get an A in his class. I made all A's one time and had that B in theory. And I couldn't understand why he was doing that until I applied for graduate school and I took my theory test. And the professor there said, "I don't know who taught you theory, but you get to exempt every theory class you have. You don't have to take."
Wow.
And I put that on Dr. Gilliam right there. So
that's incredible.
We saw him in a lot of places, but that's the professor there, Dr. Gilliam.
Wow, that's something. Anybody else?
Of course.
Okay.
Go ahead, Miss Crystal.
You go ahead, Wilma. I got you. I'll come after.
Okay, no, I just want to say, of course, Vera Benton. I took half of my major was with Vera Benton, but just a memorable. Oh, there she is. I mean, you can't touch her. But some memorable teachers for me with with Vera Benton. I have to think about Dr. Jackson. Being a freshman and coming in and not being prepared as I should have been. I was with Dr. Jackson, and Dr. Jackson, we had to learn the Black National Anthem. And I couldn't understand, why am I in an English class learning a Black National Anthem? Never heard of it. Again, coming from Columbus, Georgia, never knew it existed.
Oh, but wow.
I promise you. But we had to learn that was part of a test. And I'm so proud to sing it today. That's why, I can sing it because of Dr. Jackson. And then I think about Jamie Mitchell, Dr.
Yes, Dr. Mitchell.
Her famous saying, "Y'all coming out of bags, you're jumping out of shoes, you're jumping out of coats in here." I mean, she was just crazy. And I just never forget her saying, you come in here unprepared, you're jumping out of shoes, you're jumping out of closets. I'm like, this woman is crazy. But those are my memorable teachers at Morris Brown.
Wow.
Those were great. Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Jamie Mitchell did teach you how to survive. I remember in one of our classes, she said, "I'm telling you, I come from a place where when I didn't have syrup, I just put a little sugar and some water and went on and ate my pancakes and enjoyed them and pretended like that was the best syrup I ever had in my life."
Wow.
But for me, we still have this woman. She's working right now hard for Morris Brown College, Dr. Gloria Anderson. As a biology major, I struggled through her chemistry class. Lord knows I struggled. And she was like, "Amos, you need to study. You need to study. You need to study." Fast forward 10 years later, when I was matriculating at Emory, working on my master's, I said, Dr. Anderson, I went on and get my master's in public health. And she said, I bet you study for them, don't you? She never forgot that what she instilled was you had to study. And I remember we were such a party school. When you all think about it, we partied like nobody's business, KK. I don't know why you didn't learn how to play spades, but I can remember taking Spanish from Dr. Frazier and coming in on Monday mornings with my papers and my work done. And John and some of the other people who were taking Spanish, they said, well, when did you do your work? I said, I did it Friday before I came out to party with you all. That's when I did it. You can't party and pass these classes at the same time. You have to have some priorities.
Yeah.
But you had to do both. You had to do both. Just put the priority first. But yeah, Dr. Anderson for me.
Dr.
All right,
Gloria
so
Anderson. Yeah.
my memory is on names is not all that great, but so help me, guys. Dr. Payne taught history, did he not?
He well, Dr. Dean Payne, I think he was biology.
Who taught the U.S. history? The older man? Was it Dr. Price?
Charles Price.
Charles Price.
Government. Yeah, it could have been history too.
That's the man. Okay, so coming from I'll just say 99.9% Black school. Every now and again, we have somebody of a different race or ethnicity at Frederick Douglass High School. But it was a public school. So I don't know about anybody else's public school experience. Maybe it's my memory. But through Dr. Price, I learned that we had Black history in between the pages of slavery and the civil rights movement. All of the supplemental textbooks that we got, I never thought of Egypt as a part of Africa until then. Just that learning the African American experience and the contributions that we had made to society, that even coming from a black high school, I didn't have that knowledge.
Yeah.
So, that was most impactful. And then I mentioned Dr. Durjaye, who was head of the biology department. And like I said, I did come to Morris Brown on a science scholarship, knowing full well I was going to be a communications major, but he never, every time I walked by him, he would say, you changed your major yet? You coming to biology yet? And it's like, no, I can, and you said I could keep this full tuition scholarship without majoring in biology. Now that was on the fine print, so I never did switch over, of course, to biology, but and then I just have to say, something as well about the intercollegiate experience, of going to Morris Brown or any of the schools in Atlanta University Center, and and being able to take your courses, on pretty much any campus. And it was always wonderful to, to promote Morris Brown and academia. Like Crystal said, we may have had that party school reputation and everybody knew about the band. But when you were making, the A's and B's and contributing to the discussions on the other campuses, I felt, like I was an ambassador, really, for Morris Brown, you know, and to, it was always my mission to be, top of that class, so, and they so, oh, did you go to Clark? Oh, did you go to Spelman? And it was like, Morris Brown, so it was, I feel like everything that we do and everything that our professors did, just helped to promote Morris Brown as one of the best HBCUs ever, and so I just pray we do get that accreditation back. But long story short, Dr. Price and Dr. Durjaye.
And you mentioned something, KK, and we have struggled over the years with this reputation, this image, which for the life of me, I'm baffled by. We've been a great school, great education. We know we were taught. So, I mean, I don't know where this secondary image, of being lesser than the other AU centers came from, any of you,
Yeah, I think I don't know where it came from either, because you know, you and I most of our classes was over at Clark Atlanta
Right.
for a year, and I found that when I was there, to me, I felt like they envied Morris Brown, and basically because because of the band. The band was always the hater thing. It just the straight out the hater game. And talking to, and I hang out with the old schoolers, I call them, when I come to most of the time on the campus, and I hear the guys from Mule and Joe Green and some of the former football players. They said for many years, even during their time, they used to chase the guys. You wasn't even allowed to come on Morris Brown campus because they were so protected of the players there.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, again, the ones, like you said, it had became a thing. Now, I think they was waiting for that. It's so sad for that to happen. So now they use that losing the accreditation thing against us. It's like, that you're not there. But 90% of the educators that I met in my whole lifetime, even from me going to school in Athens, from my family members who was educators, they all came from Morris Brown. And I didn't even realize that until I was well out of college. The educator that I had in elementary in Athens was Morris Brown graduates.
Wow.
Even in throughout the school system, we look at our superintendents. When I graduated in '84, throughout Georgia, most of them came from Morris Brown produced those educators.
Yeah.
So how and when, but I think I'm gonna blame it to the fact that again, I'm always in defense when someone come with that. When we do have that conversation, y'all lost it, and I'm like, hold up now, let's hold up. You don't want to go there. So, again, like you said, I stand the gap, and I'm going to stand the course for life, because we can't allow that. I'm not going to accept that, and I challenge everybody else to continue to do what we do. And even if you did, if you sit on that wall,
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what, Wilma? Something you said. I'm sorry, that was 10. See, you get yin and yang. I do that to yin and yang all the time. But listen, one thing, Skip, I think there was an argument going back and forth on Facebook on whether or not it was okay to say Mo Brown. My pride for Morris Brown College will not allow me to engage in a conversation where somebody who especially is not a family, a Wolverine, can say, "Oh, you went to Mo Brown." I correct them every time. No, I did not. I went to Morris Brown College. Thank you very much. And we should do that. We all should make people respect the name, let alone the institution.
You know where I stand on that, and I have blocked and deleted many of folks who want to try to go there with me. They say, well, your name is Herman, and they call you Skip. I say, but I don't have a college name for me either. So I said, this is the second consecrated bishop of the African Methodist Episcopal Church, and so it lessens the importance. So we've struggled with that over the years. You all know that. Being a rough and tough kind of. I am aware that some of the Morehouse students were chased away from the campus, for trying to come to the towers, and also, and most of the early Morehouse students took their business classes at Morris Brown. Okay, they were taught by Dr. Burnett and Miss Robinson and Strick and all of them. So I know that for a fact. But as we rebuild, that's part of rebuilding is got to redo the brand. All right, brand is everything. Okay, I worked for a total of 17 years total. Separated by 4 years at Morris Brown and Morehouse College. And one thing I will say is that Morehouse was very protective of its name and its brand. Ashalonda McCullum, she and I were the only Brownites who worked at Morehouse for a long time, and they're very protective about that name. Spelman is the same way. So we have to share up and Shep and Paul and Wilma and Narissa and Ron and Crystal and again, everybody else that's watching and President James and others, we got to protect our brand. and particularly in this thing of rebrand, it is nothing new for something to come back and to reinvent itself. That happens all the time. Okay, people come back and reinvent themselves, situations, and the college has to reinvent itself, and we have to demand the respect, and it begins by the name of the institution. Okay, Mo Brown, it sounds very different than Morris Brown College. Okay, it's all perception. I may be, petty on that, but it is what it is. Shout out to Sister Willeen White Smith. I tell you, one of the hardest working women at Morris Brown College. Willeen posted about 1,000 comments, and they all book length long. Her comments. Remember Dr. Jamie Mitchell? Yes. And there is a GoFundMe account for Dr. Mitchell. And for those of you who don't know who Dr. Mitchell is, great teacher, great educator, a legend at Morris Brown as well. A couple of reminders that you're being challenged, members of the Wolverine Observer, Morris Brown Concert Choir, Queens, you are being challenged. Brown Eye Yearbook members, IOTA chapter, A5A, SGA presidents, and we also want to issue a challenge to the ladies of Zeta Phi Beta sorority who are celebrating their 100th anniversary this year. And Morris Brown has the second chapter of Zeta Phi Beta, the Beta chapter. We also want to challenge the Zeta chapter of Phi Beta Sigma, the Beta Delta chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi, Phi Mu Alpha. I don't know the name of the chapter. I can't remember the name of the chapter, but Kappa Kappa Psi, Phi Mu Alpha. Everybody today needs to send something to Morris Brown. Okay, I just sent mine. I sent mine because I needed to test the Cash App because I put the wrong Cash App letters up early. It is working. It will take your money today. $5, $10, $15. All of my Vanishing Atlanta family members who are watching, all of the Brown-Eyed family, shout out to George Hopkins. I saw your comment. Good to have you on as well. Members of the board and everybody who loves Morris Brown. Morris Brown is here to stay. It is not going anywhere. Shout out to folks in DeKalb County, where Sheriff Melody Matter serves. We need everybody to chip in and to share. Parents Estelle, TJ, I've been trying to get you on. I don't know what's going on with your connection. You're popping in, but we're not able to see you. But I do appreciate your attempt in trying to be on. I wanted to have PJ, who was a very active member of the Morris Brown family for many, many, many years. One of the best dancers around, was dean of students, I think, for a while, and just so embodied the spirit of great artists as well. But we can't seem to get a connection from TJ. So much love to you, and thank you for attempting to try to to sign in today. Todd Wiltshire is trying to get in. I wanted a football player and brother of Omega as well. But if you're just joining us, okay, Todd Green says, mention a challenge from you to the former athletes, all former athletes. If you play football, baseball, basketball, you ran or whatever else we had at the school, we're encouraging everybody to share and to give. Delta Omicron from Crystal Turner, she is challenging you as well to give, and we want to do that. I want to pause for a second, and I want to play this little clip as we continue. I'm watching the time. We probably got about 26 more minutes before we begin. Let me put this picture up. This is the members of the Fountain Hall Committee, the focus group, one of the most loyal group of alumni that we have. This was over at West Mitchell Street where I pastor. And this may have been a Black History Month celebration or some meeting. But as you know, Fountain Hall is undergoing renovation thanks to a grant written by Dr. Candy Tate and a part of the Association for the Study of Afro-American Life and History as well. So we shout out to them, shout out to some of the former queens. It is homecoming, and after all, it is about the beautiful queens that have served as Miss Morris Brown, and the pageantry of all of that that we know and that we love as well. Did I tell y'all about this beautiful coronation here? The coronation. We listen. I can't remember what's her name was, but she personally ordered up all them football players for KK, so that they could bring her on in. And that was my mama's wicker chair, KK. You were sitting in, and the thing we carried you in came from George High School, and I put it on top of my car, and they wrapped ropes around it. Whatever that thing was called, you know.
Well, you saved the day, and shouts out to the head director, Cavell.
Carvel Bennett, yes.
Yeah, Cavell Bennett.
Yeah.
But we did want a kind of a different coronation than had started happening sort of in recent years. So we just wanted to give a sort of a historical context to
what was going on.
Yeah.
But we shared that because we want brown eyes from all decades across the yard, across the board to share and to give. TJ, I need to see your face.
And Narissa can probably speak more to this, but you mentioned the money, right? So Oprah's and the other folks of the world, big donors, if we don't have, isn't it right, Narissa, 100%, of the alumni need to give, right? Even if you give $1, I'm saying that 250 because I know it's a lot of successful folk making a whole lot of money, and that's just chump change to some folks. It's not to others, but $1, and every donation, 100%. It's about giving.
Everything counts. These donors do not want to give to pay debt. Okay, they want to give to scholarships. They want to give to building funds. Okay, so they're not giving to pay debt. Okay, and that's been the problem. We can't rely on other folks to come and take care of the debt that we accrued. But so thankfully, most of the debt has been taken care of, forgiven, and we're on some even ground. The president has issued and said we need to raise $500,000, okay, for accreditation. Our goal, all right, is to be reaccredited. Nothing, all of it. And I told Willeen this, and I understand, that there have been some challenges with raising funds for Fountain Hall. And we got to raise funds for Fountain Hall, but we got to raise funds also to be accredited. Okay. And so when we get accredited, it will open, I think, the floodgate for us in order to do some great things and all. But accreditation is the goal. Without accreditation, we are still just fighting and battling. PJ, we're doing fine. Look at you. You got your background setting with your paintings. I'm supposed to have one of your paintings in my collection, But man, I'm so glad. I know you've been trying to get on, and I'm glad you finally got on so that you could share with us today. You worked at Morris Brown. You were a student at Morris Brown. What does this homecoming, not being able to go to the campus, but what does Morris Brown and homecoming mean to you, TJ?
Morris Brown has been part of my fabric since I stepped on the campus, actually. And being a student participating, and then being a student organizing, and then being an administrator organizing, it just takes it to different levels for you. You see the ins, the outs, the no sleep behind the scenes, the money that's being spent, all of those things played a very intricate role in my experience at Morris Brown. So I love homecoming. It's just part of my fabric.
Yeah, yes, indeed. What, you have a favorite homecoming memory?
Yes, and this will go down to history forever. We were able to bring Outkast to the campus the week that the Aquemini album dropped.
Wow.
And we really didn't have the budget to do it. So we finessed Morehouse to get some of their money as well. So we had a joint homecoming.
So it was a joint concert. I remember that.
Yes, yes. It was in the stadium, and it was packed. And it was one of the greatest performances from Outkast, and it would always go down in history. Students will tell you about this concert. Even people who didn't go to Morris Brown or were not in the AUC as students participated in this concert.
Wow. Yeah, Morris Brown has had some great artists over the years. Last night I was talking to Ray Ransom, founder of Brick. Had a great interview with him. So enjoyed him and Ezra Johnson. And we were talking about some of the early artists that came to Morris Brown. And somebody reminded me this morning that Earth, Wind & Fire came to Morris Brown in like 1971 and performed. This was way before they became the big group that we'd come to know them. The Funkadelics, the Dales, the Delphonics, Isaac Hayes, the Barcades, all of these groups came to Morris Brown. So we've had some great concerts and some great events. Todd Wiltshire, please try to link on one more time. I know the room was full. We got space for you if you can try again. Todd Wiltshire is a great brown-eyed, mega former football player doing great work in the community in Atlanta. And I would love to see your face if we can get on, if you can get on right now. I'm so blessed to have all of these wonderful friends on today. Oh, Wilma, I'm sorry, baby. Got you down in the holding room. Okay. Yes, we can. We got another brown eye. Go ahead, sweetheart.
When you were talking about the concerts, Gil Scott-Heron, I mean, that's my most favorite one from Morris Brown was when Gil Scott-Heron did his show. Never heard of him, but after that, he became one of my favorites.
Wow. I didn't realize we had Gil Scott-Heron, and that's worthy of putting together all of the concert artists that we have had. Well, we have been joined by another dynamic member of the class of '84, one of the great minds, one of the greatest finance accounting majors, Tammy Todd Willingham, a member of the Gamma Zeta chapter of Delta Sigma Theta. Hey, Tammy.
Hello there.
How you doing?
Doing wonderful.
Good. I asked Tammy to stop by as well. We had Roy Ayers. Okay, my goodness. SOS. Lord have mercy. That's good to hear. Y'all keep sharing. But Tammy, what does Morris Brown mean to you first? And homecoming as well.
Morris Brown College is family. Just like your biological family, Morris Brown is family also. And at Morris Brown, I received stellar education, second to none.
Yeah.
We could go against anyone based on, the education I received, the nurturing from all of the instructors. I've had a wonderful career. I'm a certified public accountant and also a certified fraud examiner. And I received no other education outside of Morris Brown. So due to Morris Brown, I was able to reach the highest level of my of the accounting field. So Morris Brown is everything.
Yes, it is. It is everything. And you've been an active, viable part of that. Again, and Narissa and Ron, Narissa, come back when you get a moment because we have something we want to ask you as well. We got so many alumni doing great things, and I think, Shep and Crystal, I hope I didn't mute you, Crystal. No, you muted yourself. But it's time, and don't get me wrong when I say this, but it's time to call some new names and add new names to that outstanding alumni list. Y'all hear me this morning?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Listen, we applaud and we celebrate the graduates who have done great things from the 60s and 70s, but you got folks from the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s who are doing. It's time to update that great alumnus list and add some people who are doing some wonderful things that we don't even know about, and they've kind of been very quiet about it, very unassuming as well. But we need to update that list and add to it and broaden the appeal. Krista, you mentioned very early about the moving into social media and reaching out. So you got Instagram, you got TikTok, and all of that. And so we do need to connect. Very early on, the president was very active on Facebook and all, and some people did not care for that. Okay. And there are two sides to that. Some thought it was too much, and all. And so, what do you think? What do you think? The thing that we want to do is engage and get folks. Go ahead,
I
KK.
think that there's a new field out there, and it's called social media manager.
Yes.
So I don't know if the interim president had a social media manager, but there is a way to do social media promotion. And I know that when I went online to look up outstanding alumni, because for some reason I worked with someone who was responsible for representing Morris Brown in an assembly, and she claimed she couldn't find any outstanding graduates. So I had to send her the link so she would know. But there were new people on that electronic list, and I know that some of these folk that graduated in maybe the last class, maybe we need to look at that last class before we lost accreditation. Maybe when we still had 1,000 students and we're kind of hanging on,
Right.
There are people doing amazing things, and they know, how to do this. I was in communications at a time, like I feel like I'm in that sort of gap where I still have to learn the new media, right? Because it's important. Everybody's doing it. So there's no way Morris Brown can not do it. There's no way we can raise funds and not have that. So maybe, if somebody could volunteer their services, somebody listening to this program, maybe get with you, Skip. And because I was thinking about maybe Toki Das was going to be one of the drum majors on here, on your show, right? Because we got to get that other generation.
I had Toki on what did I do? The drum majors Wednesday, I think. Tuesday or Wednesday. Yeah. So I had all of the drum majors on as well. But you are right, KK. We got to tap in. We got to reach out, and expand and broaden the horizon, and we have to do what we can to support the vision of the president. He is our president, and he has been selected for such a time as this. Okay, we got to do what we got to do. Whatever personal feelings and all of that, we got to. At the end of the day, listen, y'all. Crystal, it's do or die right now.
Hey, Skip, you remember when we brought on our interim president, and I had to have a sidebar with you. I was like, so what do you think? Because everybody was talking about, they thought he was too talkative, too much out there, giving misinformation or whatever. But at the end of the day, he is our leadership right now.
Yeah.
And you're right. So if there's a platform where we can help him to get his word out there in another way that's more acceptable, or if the naysayers would just hush a minute, get in the background, and let things take their course without you verbalizing and vocalizing anything negative. We don't need anybody in the family saying anything exterior to the family negative about Morris Brown College.
And publicly as well. Okay.
Exactly.
We want to fight internally, fine. All right. But the very last thing that we need right now in this season is to have public fights about Morris Brown, because then it creates this image, and this school is not ready for a comeback. Okay, they can't seem to get it together, and so it is our time. It is our season to do, and Brown Ice got to step up and do it. Those of you who live out of town, who would normally come to homecoming, you didn't have to pay for a flight. You didn't have to pay for hotel. You didn't have to pay for registration. You didn't have to go out and buy your booze and food. So all that money, you need to take and give a percentage of
Cash
it. If you don't give the
Cash
whole thing, you need to give the AKAs the money that they were gonna spend on that frappe and ginger ale and pink and green sherbet.
Don't go
We
there.
sure. The AKA.
Don't go there. Don't go there.
We already
AKAs for MBC.
I love my
Every
sisters.
Skip, may I say something, please?
Yes,
Skip,
Wilma, please, darling.
Dr. Brother Skip.
Yes, sugar.
Before I leave, I just would like to say thank you, Skip. Thank you for making this happen. Thank you for your commitment to Morris Brown College. I mean, you have truly been faithful, and without you, we wouldn't be doing a lot of things. So I just wanted to give a shout out to you and say thank you for your commitment to Morris Brown. And thank
You're
you for
so
this
sweet.
opportunity to share all of our memories. Just thanks.
Well, you.
Hey, Wilma, and Wilma, he's been committed for a long time. He used to sell hot dogs and Coca-Cola in the old Herndon Stadium. That was our first jobs, right, Skip?
It was our first job on Saturday mornings in the 70s. We be in that nasty pit in Herndon Stadium, filling up Coca-Cola cups, ice, Coca-Cola, put the top on, and then the guys would go out with the crates, 20 in a crate, selling Cokes for $1. For every crate, listen to this, y'all. For every crate of 20 you sold, you made $1. So if I sold 5 crates or 100 Coca-Colas, I walked out of there with $5.
Wait a minute. Well, we got a raise then, because I made at least $20 each time I worked the concession stand, and I go out and buy me a candied apple. You guys are making me want a candied apple.
Well, you up in the concession stand, but the Coke boys, we wasn't making. And most of these were all children of graduates.
T.A.Y.
Narissa and T.A.Y. Narissa, Gerald Hurst, the Hurst children, the Pritchards, the Ammons, Nick Harvey, Reverend Dr. Nick Harvey, all of us were down there selling and enjoy. So just it is so. So finally, I wasn't doing well with the sales. Okay, so I had this bright idea. I said I need to go over to the area where the press box is, because that's where the old alumni, and they were drinking rum and everything else over there.
Right.
And I'm telling you, and they were buying up the Cokes. They were buying up the Cokes, But anyway,
comment?
Let me see. Anybody else on? Well, y'all, we about to wrap up. Don't leave. Don't go yet. We about to wrap up shortly. And then get ready for the National Alumni Meeting at 12 noon. Share a couple more pictures of some of our beautiful queens. We talked about favorite professors. Dr. Beulah Farmer was mine.
Oh, yes.
She was my advisor.
Absolutely, yes.
And I love me some Beulah Farmer. The only problem during that time, you could smoke on campus. And when I went in for advisement, Beulah Farmer, who had this real thin gray hair, would pull her little cigarette pouch, pull out a cigarette, light it up, and she would smoke the whole time while we were advising. But she was such a wonderful. Shout out to the band room. Yeah, you know about this place here?
Yes.
Yes, this is where some great music was made. Here in this band room, and put a few more pictures.
Home away from home.
Oh yes, indeed. Shout out to Beverly Harvard, who went on to become Atlanta Police Chief, the first African American female to serve as Chief of Police for the city of Atlanta. Morris Brown got a rich history. Let me just share a couple more little clips. Y'all don't leave yet. Then we're gonna all leave out the proper way, okay?
College. And you know, we're all about music too. So we got bands all over the campus.
Founded by the Georgia Conference of the AME Church and named for one of its bishops, Morris Brown College was the first historically black college and university in Georgia that was founded by black people, for black people more than a century ago. At its peak, Morris Brown enrolled 2,700 students and was an NCAA Division I school. Because of a series of financial aid fraud and ballooning debt, Morris Brown lost its accreditation in 2003. As a result, the school was forced to withdraw from the Atlanta University Center. Morris Brown College students Desmond Scott and Shamira Page say they frequently have to remind others that the school is still open.
Morris Brown isn't closed. There are students enrolled here, and it's just as fun as going to Clark or Morehouse or Spelman.
There are people who want us to be closed. There are people who still cannot believe that we could possibly be open. But that's what a miracle is.
Although the campus is quiet, several buildings are closed, and the school's football stadium sits unkempt. Students are still being taught, and some still live in the AUC. 55 students at last count.
I feel that I have more value here and that I get more attention at Morris Brown than I would at any other school. My mom felt like it was a great place for me to be as far as the school itself, the history, and she really felt like I had a place here. The rest of my family really didn't feel the same way, but at the same time, this is my journey and my choice. I think I made the
Just wanted to share that. Just so anybody don't get it, as Wilma loves to say, don't get it twisted. Morris Brown is still standing, and we are still open. Let me put Narissa and Ron back in the room. Narissa and Ron, can you all hear me? Okay, well, at any rate, they still may be frozen, but we're just glad to have had them in the room and glad to have all of you as well. One final shout out to one of the great graduates of our school. And I got to call his name out because I think the role that he played in the civil rights movement has been so understated. But he is a proud graduate of Morris Brown. That's Jose Williams. Let me share this quickly. Yes, TJ. Yes, I remember that beautiful painting. Check this out for a second.
But I still want to know where all this money went. He keeps saying in this article, Pat, I wouldn't talk. He sent me a letter. You know what was in the letter? How much of the church's money was spent in politics. I said, fool, if I spent some of the church's money in politics, you think I'm going to tell you? And so I told him on my show, and I'm going to tell him on your show, Atlanta Constitution, go to hell. And I know this newspaper is owned by the richest woman in the world, Miss Cox. Miss Cox, y'all trying to get me, go to hell.
That's our Jose Williams.
Unbossed and unbossed.
And unbossed. That is a Brownite, a proud graduate of Morris Brown. I believe Jose went on to get a PhD in chemistry or science or something along that line.
He have a street in DeKalb named after him.
He was a councilman and okay, I got everybody back now. But yeah, I could not leave without mentioning Jose. So listen, everybody, closing words, and then I'm going to play this beautiful arrangement of the alma mater. Folks continue to give, first of all, but we're going to just start up at the top. KK, closing words as we prepare to close out this segment and get ready for the National Alumni Meeting at 12 noon.
Well, I've been sending these ghost messages. Can I yield my time to Tammy Todd?
Go
I know
ahead.
she had something to say.
Go ahead, Tammy.
Shout out to the Morris Brown College accounting department. At one point, Morris Brown College had the distinction of graduating more Black CPAs than any other institution. So shout out to the Morris Brown College accounting department.
Yes, indeed, Tammy. Thank you. And so we're calling on all of the accounting graduates, all of the business graduates to give today in honor of Morris Brown College. Any final closing thoughts, challenges that you want to issue right now? Go ahead, Shep.
Yeah, definitely challenging again the marching band members, and also I want to challenge all the teachers because Morris Brown put out a slew of teachers here, not only in the metro area of Atlanta, but pretty much nationwide.
Yes.
And so I challenge the teachers as well, and let's support this president. I think he's doing an outstanding job because I've got to witness all the time from 1978 to now. And I think for the time now, he is the man now. So let's continue to support him, continue to support the college through giving. I gave my part, and I'm going to give more, of course, continue to give. And I ask that everyone just continue to give.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. TJ, any closing words?
Yes, I got to cover a whole lot.
Go ahead, brother.
I have to challenge Black male and ecstasy dance teams. That's a part of my fabric. I also have to challenge the underdogs who are never really appreciated. I was a resident assistant for 4 years.
Hey, hold on, TJ. You all mute yourself and then unmute yourself when it's time to talk. Go ahead, TJ. I'm sorry.
So we got to show love to the RAs as well as all the Student Government Association members.
Okay.
That's the challenge.
Yes. The RAs, the dancers, what was it? Ecstasy, and what was the other group?
Black male.
Black male, yes. And all who worked in student activities and all of the SGA folks. Dr. Tan, any final words from you, sweetheart?
Yes, I did all what you all said for the most part. Again, to my challenge, I do know my sorority sisters, they continue to fight the good fight, and I want to keep encouraging you to do what you do. In addition to educators and all the students that we educated, whether you attended Morris Brown or the AUC Center, it's about support each other. Like it says, for us, by us. So it's all of us in it together. So if any listener, you can share with your friends. Continue to, as I share with my family and friends, some who never even attended an institution, but they are so proud of me and the things that we are doing in our community, that they would support that because I shared that with them. So a lot of times with the unknown, it's just to let them know, to share, continue to share. And again, like KK said, we need that social media manager. We need you to start today.
Yeah. KK, you hit that on the head. You know, we need and the president has his own good game, but we need a social media manager, you know, that can handle that across the board, you know, and to put out what the president wants to put out. You know, we ought to be on TikTok.
I know we have
Morris
a
Brown
social media manager, graduate of Morris Brown. I know we do.
That's right. Somebody that truly understands that piece. Crystal, any closing words?
Just thank you again, Skip, for this platform. This is our homecoming, such as it is. It's homecoming for us as well as other HBCUs as well. And so we've done a great job, I think, at connecting virtually, even though we need to up our game, and we're going to do so. We're going to find that person to manage us all. I just want to say happy homecoming, everybody. It's homecoming. Morris Brown College, Morris Brown College for life.
Yes, it is.
And also, hey, Tammy. I had to speak to my soror, Tammy Todd. Hey, Tammy. I made Tammy.
You made Tammy. We remember that. We remember Tammy and that group walking around in those white blouses. All right, Narissa, can you hear me? Unmute yourself.
Narissa.
Okay, she can't hear me. Dr. Wilma, give us some closing words, sweetheart.
Absolutely. I just want to say thank you to Morris Brown College. You know, a lot of my friends now, you know, came from Morris Brown College. I met my best friend at Morris Brown College almost 40 years ago. That's Dr. Goodjoins. Just thank you. AKAs for MBC for life. HBCU made. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sweetheart. Tammy, any closing words? Okay. Carl.
Ding.
Yes.
Yeah.
TJ had something?
Yeah, go ahead, TJ.
I left out. I definitely I got kind of sidetracked. Phi Beta
That's okay.
Sigma Theta chapter
Skip, can you
is
hear
about
me?
to be 100 years old in January the 14th, 2021. We are the oldest Greek chapter in the South. We have a 100-year-old chapter
That's right.
on our
That's
campus.
right.
So
Zeta chapter, Phi Beta Sigma. So all of the sigmas.
Zeta Phi Beta. So those are challenges.
That's right. Exactly. Narissa, hold on, Carl.
Okay.
Narissa, can you hear me? Okay. All right. Go ahead, Carl.
Yes, just want to say happy homecoming to everyone. Add to my challenge the political science majors and Phi Mu Alpha Kappa Beta chapter and the political science majors. Want to add those to my challenges as well to give. Let's just keep pushing. I was a little distracted because I had to get on and pay my alumni dues before the meeting at noon, so I could be caught up. You know, so I was on the other device making sure I took care of that. So I wanted to do that and just ask us to all give. Hopefully you'll be on the alumni meeting and the college relations committee and other committees will be making reports. We are the committee that's been assigned to be the liaison between the alumni association and the administration and the president. So we're working hard to bridge that gap. We talked about communication. That is so vital. This is a watershed moment for Morris Brown. And I think that hopefully the announcement that the president is making, I think he's making a big announcement today. We don't know what it is, but I hope it's something that's just going to continue to keep us excited. And I ask just all of those groups, everybody who was in school between 80 and 84, all of us to come on board and all of our classes. I'm just talking about my group when I was there. And then when I was working there from 98 to 04, all of us just come and give, and everybody has some connection. So we connect with the people that we connect with. I think that we'll be able to pull this thing out. We all have influential. We all are influential in our own spheres of influence. I mean, like I know Shep sent kids to Morris Brown's band. I'm thinking about the Quainters from Mary Persons that he sent to Morris Brown. So it's and many others. I've had an opportunity to run across his students at places that I've worked, and so it's a great thing and a great connection. So let's just keep doing what we do.
That's right. That's right. Let me share these. Our classmate, my adopted cousin Greg Mason, sent these wonderful photographs of Roy Ayers at Morris Brown in the gym and Gil Scott Heron. Isn't this something?
That's it. That's it.
Oh my goodness. So Greg, we got to get together, man. We got to do this book on Morris Brown's history. It's so rich and so many wonderful here this final appeal from the president, and then we will and there is a documentary that has already filmed on Bishop Gaines, our signal founder of Morris Brown College, and I'm excited and grateful for the president to have been asked to be a part of the documentary on Bishop Gaines. But let's just hear this for just a moment, please. See if I can find it.
Morris Brown College will be the first college in history, first HBCU to rebound 20 years after losing its accreditation. We're asking all of the community, shareholders, HBCU graduates, anyone to pour into Morris Brown College financially, to help us to prove to the Transnational Association of Christian Colleges and Schools that we are financially stable. And so we're asking everyone to pour into the institution. They can go to our website, morrisbrown.edu, click on that give button and pour in to the institution financially to help us to restore Morris Brown College through the hard reset. For me to be a part of that, it's just an honor. I call it the hard reset, the restoration of Morris Brown College. I cannot let Bishop Gaines down. I cannot let Bishop Morris Brown down. I cannot let down all the individuals who gave of their life to start this institution, to promote and advance this institution. And so right now we're working to become accredited again through the Transnational Association of Christian Colleges and Schools. We're going back to our Christian roots of Christian education. And so to be a part of that, to restore the institution, it's a huge undertaking, but we're absolutely going to be able to do it under this administration.
Bishop Gaines' significance as an educational and religious leader in Atlanta and across the South cannot be overstated. The legacy of the institutions that he was instrumental in creating not only influenced Atlanta in the second half of the 19th century, but continue to shape the city, the region, and the nation today.
You got to believe in your abilities and you have to believe in yourself. That was consistent throughout my education at Morris Brown. And Bishop Gaines believed that even as a small boy. Maybe he overheard some of the white kids in the plantation reading, but he knew that if he learned how to read, that something would happen. And it was a risk worth taking. Now, we don't know where kids get courage from. We don't even know where we get courage from sometimes to do the things that we do. But we also know that in life, we have to learn how to take some chances.
Well, my brothers and sisters, I have enjoyed you all immensely. If we were at a Morris Brown game, we would end with the fight song. You know, I open up singing, "Dear old Morris Brown, dear old Morris Brown." And come on, y'all remember the words? Go ahead, unmute yourself, KK. Unmute yourself.
Hey, Skip,
Yeah.
That's true. We will ever be born as one, united are we. We will attest to this how ever we will raise the standards high, ever lifting to the sky. Rah rah for Morris
Dear old Morris Brown, dear old Morris Brown. Dun, dun. So I said the reason I didn't learn the words because I was in the band.
Right.
To thy precepts, true we shall ever be. Dun, 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 dun. Narissa.
Born as one, united
right.
are we.
Y'all send the words through the chat so we can get.
I know it just used to be da 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 da.
When I was there, students at Morris Brown, if you all recall, Dr. Walton and Miss Stevens, we did, and TJ, we did teach the students fight song. We wanted to make sure that a generation of students would indeed know the fight song. Narissa, still frozen. Can you hear us? Unmute yourself. Bless her heart, she tried. It's just the technology. Well, y'all, I have enjoyed it. We are less than 15 minutes away from the National Alumni Meeting. And so I want to close out with this beautiful arrangement of our alma mater done by alumnus Jody Mayfield, now Professor Jody Mayfield. You all take care, and then I'll see you all back at 2 o'clock for the virtual homecoming. Yeah, okay, you're here, Narissa. Well, we were so glad you could come on and be a part with us today. Our love to your parents and continue to fight for dear old Morris Brown. We're going to close out now with this arrangement of the alma mater, and then we'll see you all shortly, and then this afternoon at the virtual celebration.
shall be thy goal. Ever let thy banner be, emblem of the brave and free. Oh, welcome true to everyone, until thy work is done. Hail to thee, maker of men, honor to thee once again. Sacred troops on firmest ground, hail to thee, give glory round. To thy precepts praise the Lord, to them may we e'er be bound, and bow and thank the gracious Lord.